And I'm Ken Hayes. I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Okay. All right. Here we go. Correct. Okay. Hmm. Uh, putting, I would say this is that he put the Bucks on notice that hey, I need you know everybody on the same page, everybody working to get a championship, and that whatever we need to do to get to that place, we need to do it. And I get it. Um, I think last year, or let's say last season, we heard about Drew Holiday thinking about retirement. We didn't know if they were going to sign Chris Middleton back. And a lot of other, let's just say, free agents and things like that. Bucks were the oldest team in the league, so I get where what he's saying, and he just wants a commitment from management and ownership. That hey, we need to put our best foot forward, see if we can win this championship before I sign this extension. And the thing about it, Mike, is that um, I would say it was a smart move on his behalf. Maybe you say, well, maybe I sign for a little less so we can get you know another free agent, or make some deals and things like that. So I don't put too much in it. It's just called commitment from both sides. For right. Because him and Chris, they came in together, right? Yeah. But I'm gonna be a little technical. He didn't say. He said, "I want everybody to be as committed as away from their families," which they all do that. I mean, I, I think I'll say this is that I'm not for me. I can't put in too much stock into it right now. I think they've done everything so far in the favor of Giannis because I'll say this, and this doesn't have anything to do. I mean, his when they signed his brother to be on a team, I'm like, okay, and I don't think he. This is just my opinion. I don't even think he should be on any NBA team. That's just me, but we'll keep it moving. But I think that they've done everything to you know get to that point with him. So it's kind of like a ride or die. So I just don't put too much stock in it. I think they're going to the Bucks are going to do what they need to do to try to bring another championship to Milwaukee. I agree with that. You're definitely right about that. Oh, New York, true, deliberate. All day. Right. You challenge them all day. I know. Right. Generational wealth. Yeah, I think. But let me say this, Mike. He should have kept that to himself under his hat and just spoke to the owners and management about it and said, he didn't have to come out publicly and say it. I just think that Mike, I keep trying to say this is that when these, let's just say, I'm gonna call them entertainers, sports figures, make this money, sometimes their mouths just open up a can of worms that that just some things that just should be left unsaid. Right. But yeah, but the thing about it is his ego got in front of his mouth. That's what happened. Man, it because it's a bit. Mike, I'll say this: it's a business for these players because they know at any time they can be traded. Um, but the thing about it, he's entering into his tenth season, correct? Okay, his 11th season. So from 10 to 15, that's when you kind of fall off that peak as far as a player is concerned. So, you know, I don't know if it was maybe he was thinking about that, or maybe the extension is the extension. I think he would be making around 56 million, somewhere around there, a year. And I think that was a 3-year extension. They've already extended him before. So, I, like I said, his ego got in front of his mouth. Right. Nah. Right.
Say it to your players, like match my style. And I don't have a problem with that, man. But when I read it, I just thought, wow,
Mm. Unnecessary.
unnecessary, bro. Unnecessary. Come on, Giannis, man, you better than that, bro. Come on, you the Giannis is not only a success story, and I'm speaking to the choir because you know all of this, but he's a role model, man, and
Oh,
he
definitely.
speaks so well. He communicates well. He's empathetic. He's just a good dude, man. And I don't want to be critical when brother make a mistake or what I don't agree
Go
with.
ahead and be
But I
critical,
just
man.
think, it hurts. I think it hurts the locker room, man. Because if I'm reading that, I'm just being honest. I'm like, what did he just say? Everybody's we ain't you know what I'm saying? Like
Right. We
your
ain't
interpretation of
sacrificing.
things is different. Like he's saying, like, if everybody don't get with what I'm trying to do, well, maybe
That's
we already
they trying to do the same thing.
exactly. Maybe he should have said, well, I have teammates that are sacrificing it. We just need to continue, right? Okay, not if they're not okay stepping up like I am, then I'm gonna go get ghost on them. And I just, man, I don't know, man. I was disappointed in that Ken, but hey, love Giannis, man. Love his game. He's my boy. I support him 110%. I know you do too. But man, brother B, choose your words more wisely, in my opinion. Now, some of y'all listening and watching might say, Mike, you tripping. Mike, just leave it alone, man. But man, hey, Mike is in the details, baby. I'm not on the generalization. I'm in the details, and the details bothered me, Ken, on this one.
Man, let it roll off your back, Mike.
There you
Because I
go,
know,
bro.
and the thing about it is that you know, uh, the story came out. It lasted for about a day or two, and it went away. I think that that 10, like I said before, between 10 years and 15, that's when players start to retire or their bodies break down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he was thinking about that, but it was just unnecessary, and Giannis ego got in his way once again. But it happens to all of us. So
Well, I'm hoping he come back with a vengeance. I'm hoping he
hmm.
come back to punish the league and to reestablish his dominance in the league, man. And I was encouraged the fact that he did say he gonna play 20 years.
Man,
So I was
stop.
like, I was like, okay, so we got another King James. He said he gonna go 20. We got another Cole, man. We got another Dirk. I said, okay, we will see. Just before we go to because folks, we're gonna get into USA basketball, but I just think, Ken, what do you think about his style for doesn't he have to change his style if he's going to play 10 more years at the pace and the dominance and the quickness and the attack that he does? Do you think his body can hold up for another 10 years?
Not in the way he's going right now. I think that Giannis handles the ball too much for me. Give that to Drew Holiday and let him bring it up. I mean, you can always run the offense through him, or let him start it. But that's just too much ball handling as far as I'm concerned. I'll say, and I've been saying this for a while, I think he needs to give up some of his shot, so other players can, let's just say, get going. And the thing about it is that, don't get me wrong, one of the hardest working players out there, but Father Time catches up with everybody. So no, if he right now in the pace that he's going right now, I don't see Giannis lasting for 20 years.
Yeah, he got to get that low post game, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to even mention that also. Yeah, he needs to, yeah. That's just a easy, let's just say, easy baskets for him to get, than trying to take everybody to the basket and take that type of punishment.
No doubt, you 6'11", get a little jump hook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get a little turnaround fade, which he does have in his game. I mean, he and the thing about Giannis, his shot looks good, man. I mean, it ain't like his mechanics are off.
Except when that 3-pointer goes up.
Well, and he got a decent stroke, man, but I think you can't have a 3-point set shot.
No.
And that's what Giannis, he's really got to, he kind of jukes a little bit, man, with the left hand, and and then he'll pull up, right? Because he's got to get that rhythm. Man, he's got to learn just to shoot that 3-pointer, man. And
you said not to shoot it? I got you.
Well, no. He if he want to do 20 years, he gonna have to learn how to shoot a 3-pointer. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You know why Brooke is still here? Lopez.
Oh yeah.
Because when that body slow down and you that big, you gonna have to be able to shoot from long range, man. Because you can't dominate like you used to. Brooke could take you down there every now and then and post you up and try to posterize you or whatever. But mainly, Brooke is gonna be a floater, or he's gonna be on the perimeter. He knows he can't work his body like that unless he's had back surgeries too. But I just think Giannis is gonna have to develop, a decent, even if he got to 32, 33%. Right. I mean, if he can get 33, 34, that's not difficult. That is
for Giannis. Difficult. If he gets to 30, that's gonna be good for him.
Listen, man, I hope he's working on his game that way, but we will see, man. Ken, USA basketball. Lithuania
came in and said, we got this one. They was up by, I think, 21 at one time. I think in the second quarter. Okay. I'm like, man, come on. Mike, let me say this, is that I know Ant has been, he's been the man. And he's probably going to, let's just say, minimum top 10 in the NBA this year. Mm-hmm. I saw one thing that,
You made me think of something. Go ahead. I'm listening. I got to write.
I saw one thing that just bothered me to no end. Brandon Ingram. You bench him to start somebody else. I thought, and I was watching the game they played against New Zealand. I'm like, where Brandon at? He outside on the 3-point line. I'm like, man. Get this man the ball so he can go to work. I think that game the next game he got benched. He had 7 points. I'm like, Brandon Ingram, 7 points. I was like, oh man, because already they're a small team.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
Jackson, gets into that foul trouble, and I mean, I like Jackson, but he just that
Ken,
foul trouble just seems to
Ken,
follow him in the FIBA and in the NBA. I'm like, man, come on.
man, that might as well
So
just give him 3 fouls when they start, bro. Because he
right,
gonna get it.
and the lack of size is hurting them. And then when I saw that Ingram was not, let's just say, getting the ball or coming through the offense, I was like, man, what's going on with that? So, did I see that loss coming? I can't say yes or no, but I knew they were going to have a hard time with them. And I just
They're a
think
bigger
that
team.
huh? You did
They're a
too?
bigger team. They're a bigger
Right? Yeah,
team, like you say on
yeah.
the inside with Valanciunas. Um, but they man, the first few minutes, Ken, they didn't miss.
Mm, okay,
I mean,
right,
how many threes did they hit, man? I was like,
man.
they played their best game probably ever. And it was embarrassing, man, in the first quarter. But I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'm for that's why I see it. I mean, I like these young cats, man. They hungry, but the thing when my whole thing is the lack of size and not getting Brandon Ingram involved in the offense. I got to blame Steve Kerr for that, big
Kerr don't
time.
know how to coach Ingram. He don't know how to coach Brandon Ingram, man. He doesn't see when you coming from that Golden State mindset where everybody's moving, catching, and shooting. He ain't. If you look at Golden State, Wiggins is probably the only one on there that's gonna try to break you down. Most of those guys are pulling, right?
Okay,
Clay is pulling, Steph is pulling, right? So most even when Poole was there, he was pulling. Most of those guys, Ingram is the type of dude where he gonna break you down, right? He needs the ball, he needs usage,
yeah.
and part of the problem I see, Ken, they got too much hero ball going on. Now,
Mm,
you might beat some team. Yeah, you beat Mangola. You
no,
beat some,
they
but
almost
when you come up against some competition, Ken, you got to pass the ball, man. And they just doing Lithuania, man. The ball was not moving; it was sticking in the hands of 101 players, man. And I just think
Anthony Edwards. Yeah,
Ant Man going to the hole, or he's shooting. They need to tell him, bruh, you good, you great, we love you, and you got to distribute the ball. If because you notice to me, they play better when Halliburton is in there.
yeah.
Cause he, cause he,
I give you that.
yeah, cause he distributing, man. I mean that
He may give you a couple of bad turnovers, but yeah, I agree with that.
man. He is, man. I like that dude, man. More and more
He
when
got
I
a nice
see him
game.
play, man.
Yeah,
He, he's trying to find people. You know what I'm saying? He's
right.
picking and choosing his spots, and so it to me, Ken, I think the very important thing you said, Jaren Jackson. If
Mm.
he doesn't stay on the floor, they can't win. They can't. They
Because
too small,
right, who they got coming after him?
bruh. Lithuania had so many second chance points, man. I was
Rebounds.
like,
I don't
oh
remember the
my
number, but
god,
they out rebounded
it was ridiculous, bro.
Team USA. It was just ridiculous. So
I was like, man, when I saw, I was like, are y'all playing today, or y'all, what I'm saying, like, and I understand in the NBA game, but these are 10 quarters, okay? So you losing out, okay, on 8 minutes of basketball, right? So 10 quarters, it's not 12-minute quarters. And so you don't have all of that play time, right? So
to come
eh,
back,
you got to, man, like tip off. You got to dig in right when that happens, man. And you can't be digging in with that hero ball going 1-on-1. They have to, like you say, they're smaller, Ken.
yeah,
They have to move the basketball, push the pace, Otherwise, it ain't gonna happen. In Lithuania, smack. Okay.
I
And
tell you who I'm impressed by. Bridges. He,
yeah. Yeah.
I think he's done himself well as far as his performance is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cam Johnson, I think they could have found somebody else to do what he's doing, because I just saw that more of a, and he's gonna, I would say, good playing time, but just not being consistent. And that was his, I would say, I'm gonna call it his downfall in Phoenix.
Well, he's a defensive guy, right?
Cam is a shooter.
I
I
know
don't
he
know
shoot,
about.
but is he on there for shooting?
I would think so. I would hope so.
Yeah, I don't need no more shooters, bro.
Yeah.
They need some defense, man.
They need, yeah, they need, and you know something, and I would say this. I was impressed by Ant as far as his defense. Watching him, I gained a lot more respect for him as far as that's concerned. But
Well, even in that game, when they decided to start playing together, and that's when they made them run. So they came back and made the game respectable,
right,
right?
yeah,
It was just they only lost by 6 points,
right.
right? So
I get you.
it wasn't. It was just I
They
don't
get,
know,
yeah,
man.
they were down by 21. They just, you trying to come back by down by 21. That takes a lot out of you.
10-minute quarters too.
All I'm gonna say, Mike, is Brandon Ingram. I'm gonna keep saying that, man.
He talked about his struggles too, and I just, again, man, to me, this signifies just how important coaching is and putting your players in the right position. And I just
True.
don't feel like he's utilizing him in a way that can be beneficial. You know what I mean? He's got to run some isolation for him, run some plays for him, make him the center of the offense, man, and get him going. Otherwise, just throwing him out there saying, "Hey, you got to get in the groove," like it's a pickup game, man.
But
And
I think that,
I don't think that's fair to Brandon Ingram.
but the thing about it is that I didn't see any pin downs for him. I didn't see any, double screens or anything like that. I mean, that's some of his game too. It's not like he's just stationary. He was just basically waiting on the outside of the 3-point to see if I catch and shoot. So
Nah, but that ain't his game, man.
no,
He's much more versatile. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
In and out, driving, pulling. That is one of the saddest probably stories of the FIBA games is the underutilization of someone like Brandon Ingram. But Ken, I got to throw this in there to you.
Okay.
Gilbert Arenas.
Oh man, stop.
Man, yeah. Okay, no, let me say what I was going to say. I'm trying to. It's a family show. Gilbert Arenas came out and said that the players on this USMB, the USA basketball team, are F level players. He said the only player on there that is probably a B level is Anthony Edwards. So everybody else is not A, not B, not C, not D, but F level players.
Stop. Just stop. It,
What's wrong
I
with
just think
Gilbert?
Gilbert Arenas is just trying to make a name for himself with his podcast. And I think I'll use the word that he's a scorned NBA player. I'll put it that way. So,
Did the breakup not go well
right,
for him?
exactly. I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, did he get all this stuff thrown out the window?
Oh man, come on, man. Good, man. Because the thing about it, I won't say everything. The things that I hear from his podcast, they are more in a negative aspect and a negative narrative than the positive one. That's just me saying that. If somebody else, tell me
No,
differently.
no, I agree with you, man.
Man, I think that to me, man, I hate bringing up his name again. To me, the best player on that team is Brandon Ingram.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
just my opinion.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
yeah,
Ant-Man is number 2, no doubt, man.
right. Um, no, come on, man. I
F
mean,
level. F level. And this is what I want to know from Arenas. Okay, give me your B level, your C level, and your D level. See if you can find players that are better than these. Man, these are young players, but these are ballers. Okay, there's plenty talent on this USA team, man. And to call them, I thought that was disrespectful. I thought it was offensive, man. And I thought you just retired from the whole commentary game because you're so far beyond the pale that I can't even take you serious now. You know what I
right.
mean, Ken? Like it's like, how can I even take you serious, man, when you say that
F
Bridges
level.
is an F level player?
Right.
Serious? Jared Jackson, the defensive player of the year, is a what? A F
F,
level player? I mean, seriously, man. Man, as you said, Ken, I believe it has to do with relevancy. He wants to be relevant. He definitely has something against how his career ended,
right.
how unsuccessful his career was. Now, see, the shot will be, well, at least I made it to the NBA. Well, okay. I didn't say you never made it to the
Talented.
NBA, but
Talented. I mean, can shoot it, man.
he has some game. He has
Yeah.
some game, but what level is he? Right? He looking at the level he accusing them of. Let's be honest, man. Was Arenas a better player than Bi?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll at the end. Let's say at the end of the career. Okay, will Anthony Edwards be a better player than him?
Yes.
Absolutely,
Right. That's not. That's
absolutely. So what I'm saying, man, like it's good to have commentary, but when you start just talking out the side of your neck, man, which has no to say that these guys. If he had said that these are B level players, I would have said, yeah, okay.
Mike.
They're
This
not
is
the,
more
they're
of
not the Kevin. They're
right.
not the LeBron. They're not the.
They
They're not the Bookers. They're not. I get that.
they're not the established veterans.
Exactly. I get that.
But the thing about it, Mike, is that to me, I see this more as an attack than anything else on these
It is.
players. It's
It is.
not, if they have a bad game, they have a bad game, in which all players do that. I just think these Team USA, they're young, they're hungry, and they're gonna, let's just say, be more mistake prone than, let's just say, established veterans. But the thing about it, they're playing hard on both ends of the court. Do they get a little lackadaisical on defense? Yeah, they do. But as far as I'm concerned, offensively, man, they firing above what I thought they would be as far as putting this team together so quickly.
They're a lot better than what I thought they were going to be, and I've been very impressed. Even when they lost to Lithuania, man,
Yeah,
they dug down, they came back, they played hard. I mean, I think they, to Gilbert's, what I would say to him, these guys have represented their country well. And
definitely.
to sit up here and call them F level players, man, I just thought that was just disrespectful, man.
It was disrespectful, and I think him being a player, um, I don't think he would appreciate it if anybody would say that about
thank
him.
you,
So,
thank you, thank
but
you, man. Come on, man. And for some of these young players, this is their first time competing in in international play. So you gotta understand some of that, man. But to say that their talent is F, that's at the bottom. Like he did not say A, B, C, D. He said F. That
F,
is the bottom. You said these are the bottom feeders of the NBA. Stop it.
yeah.
Stop it with your jealous self, man. Go on, Gilbert. Come on, man. You better than that, bro. Come on, man. Show more respect than that, man. That was disrespectful. So they played Germany They play Germany next in the semifinals. If they lose again, they go home. You can't lose again. And
No,
Germany hasn't lost yet.
it's gonna be it's gonna be a tough game for them. I mean, I still think they could, beat Germany and move on, keep moving on, I should say. But the thing about it, it's got to be it's got to be a team effort. One player or two players are not going to do it. They really need to share the ball. I would like to see, let's just say, between 3 and 5 players in double figures. If they can do that, that would give them a chance to beat Germany.
Well, Dennis Schroeder want to send him home.
Oh man, stop!
You know that.
Yeah,
Franz
I know.
Wagner want to send him home
Because he want to send him home and kind of justify why he didn't sign that extension with the Lakers, but that's a different story.
Hey, Daniel Tice want to send him home, Ken.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game. Like you say, I think if the USA, plays their game from the start, plays hard, but they're going to have to put Germany away. Because I've seen Germany play a couple times. And they'll beat you.
Yeah. Oh,
they're
yeah.
not going to lay down for you.
No. No. They're going to be up for this game.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And knowing, too, that if the USA lose, they gone, that's the big thing, right? The second loss is the killer. So, because Slovenia, Luka at home, Luka at home sipping on a little smoothie now that he done trimmed down.
Right, I saw that
for the season.
Looks good though.
He look good. Oh,
yeah,
he look good, man. Luka look good. Man.
Committed.
Like I say, I think this year he knocking on that MVP door, man. Him, SGA, I think he looks good, man. His body,
right?
You know how his game is anyway. He's unstoppable. So, but he's home watching everything, Ken. So, the last thing I want to ask you about the new Undisputed. Have you had a chance to watch it yet?
I saw it, man. I saw it for about 5-10 minutes just to see. It don't do anything for me. Too many. I'm gonna call them. Too many people who like to talk a lot on the show. Skip looked like he out of place.
But Ken, they got rid of the host. Jenny Taft is no longer there, and
right.
I forget what the other one's name. I think it's Jen something. Is no longer there. So Skip is playing the host. So we have Skip. You got Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, Rachel Nichols every now and then Lil Wayne every now
on Fridays, right? No, that's just I think, to me, in my opinion, I think that they should have just grabbed probably Michael or somebody else just to go with Skip like they did
Michael
when they had.
Yells too much, bro.
I know he get carried away.
Yeah, I think Mike gonna have a heart attack or something, man. he animated and
he is though.
But see, Ken, this is what I think. Number one, First Take is a what is it? Think for Yourself. First Take and shows like Think for Yourself. Those are shows where you have sports commentary. Yes, there's debate, but it's not a debate show. Skip Bayless has always been a debate show.
Right.
I'm gonna be on one side, you're gonna be on the other. Whether or not we agree, somebody's gonna disagree.
Right.
When you bring in people like Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn, these are dudes that have strong opinions.
Right.
And they're very vocal and they're gonna debate you. What happens is it becomes chaos. I mean, they was like yelling at each other, man, and Skip couldn't get a word in edgewise. He was looking like he was lost.
Lost, right.
It ain't gonna work.
I think
it ain't gonna work.
I think Keyshawn and Skip probably would have been, if they would have just paired them two, I think it would be a better show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 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 Because Keyshawn is smooth enough to say what he needs to say and then back off, right? Because Keyshawn's going to say what he needs to say, but he doesn't have to talk over you.
Right.
Like Michael Irvin's going to talk
over you. Richard Sherman is going to talk over you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And what you've noticed now, I did the same thing, Ken. I went in for a little bit, man. I watched a few clips just to be knowledgeable about it. So I went in, and now they're trying to, they may have Richard Sherman, via, some sort of Zoom or whatever, and then they got Keyshawn in the studio. You know what I mean? They're trying to control it more because, man, it looked like who let the dogs out. I was like, no, man, this is ridiculous. I still don't think it's going to work. I still don't think it's going to work because I just think the personalities on there, I really don't. Again, it's all about Dallas. And he brought in some LA folks now, Keyshawn and others. So it's all about, they never talked about Giannis on that show, right? So all of a sudden now, Giannis, because he said what he said, Ken, Keyshawn them happy. He might as well come to LA. Everybody want to play for LA. You see what I'm saying? So now he a hot topic on the show now. Now everybody love it. But when he's staying in Milwaukee, everybody's being critical of it.
Right.
So no, man, I think it's we have challenges now when it comes to programming on ESPN as well as FS1. It's just not. I mean, you got Colin Curd. He does a great job.
Do you think so?
Again, Ken, my whole thing is these sports shows that are a variety of sports topics, they bore me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like I'd rather listen to a football show only than a basketball show only. When you throw everything in there, man,
in the mix,
football, basketball, soccer,
and pop culture.
That, man. Exactly, man. I'm truly bored with that because I want to try to have some depth and some conversation, and you really can't do that when you bounce into different sports and everything. So, a lot of those shows do not appeal to me.
I get what you're saying. I mean, but they're trying to appeal to, let's just say, a diverse population. Let's just say the only sport they really don't talk about much is baseball. They really, unless it's some, somebody breaking a record or whatever the case may be. But it's mainly, football, basketball, and maybe college football. But I sometimes, in watching it, you kind of get right now on FS1, you say to yourself, where's Shannon at? He over at the, let's just say down the dial at ESPN on Mondays and Tuesdays.
I know it's crazy, Ken, but it's been a great show, man. A lot going on. We got, hopefully the USA men's basketball can keep this thing going. We would love to see them boys come home with some medal around their neck. That would be
nice.
Thrilling. And we still need to reign supreme in the basketball world. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, like, subscribe, and hit that notification. And the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.